I'm journalist and podcast enthusiast Lauren Windle, and you're listening to The Good Pod Guide, where we help you find your next great listen. I think I've already told you guys about my Jackie Weaver mug. Well, I'm now drinking out of the second Jackie Weaver mug that I bought as soon as this whole local council or parish council meeting thing kicked off. And I'm willing to concede that possibly the two mugs was a mistake, because I think I've overly invested on what is looking increasingly like a fleeting meme trend that is unlikely to stick around. But there we go. I'm nothing if not committed when it comes to a joke, even if it does mean that I've wasted $6.99 plus postage and packaging. And that's maybe my lesson of the day. Anyway, let me tell you about today's podcast. It is Sinisterhood. And this is another podcast that focuses on all things creepy and culty and crimey with a little sprinkling of comedy. Topics include cults, Bigfoot, hauntings, assassinations, bank robberies, Jeffrey Epstein, killer clowns, Amanda Knox, and of course, Ted Bundy. The podcast started in 2018 and is hosted by Dallas-based comedians and friends, Wallace and Heather McKinney. So it's another sort of horrible things and comedy hybrid. There are more than 120 episodes to sink your teeth into, and they're an average of an hour and 15 minutes each. There are a couple of episodes in particular I wanted to flag up to you. So 117 Bunny Man is where a deranged axe-wielding figure dressed in a white bunny suit that disembowels those that dare to trespass near the Erie Colchester Bridge. And that happened in Fairfax County. So that is like really flipping creepy. And they discuss that. Also, episode 15, so one of the earlier ones, is called Slender Man. And they discuss the internet's only website for horror stories called Creepypasta. And it's since come up in another podcast as well. So I'm now well aware of this website. And it's entirely dedicated to people creating their own ghost and horror stories. But it's also actually the birthplace of this urban legend that I hadn't heard before called Slender Man. And this all escalates when they discover that two schoolgirls actually tried to recreate the urban legend murder, which is quite gritty and grimy. I was also really interested in the Brittany Murphy episodes from July 2020 because I didn't think there was much to say about her and her sort of death. I just thought it was a tragic overdose. But they do manage to make it into a two-parter by just like digging through Brittany's life, literally from birth, and highlighting some slightly sinister elements that I didn't know about. Yeah, I learned some really good stuff. I learned about the CIA website as well, which is yet another rabbit hole that I look forward to falling down. I was a little bit freaked out by the very end of their jingle where one of them whispers, "I'm going to kill you." I don't know if that whisper's come through, but they basically whisper, "I'm going to kill you." And that was a bit weird and creepy. I'm not going to lie. They do have good banter. They have good facts and discussions, even if you can't really tell who's talking and you can't tell them apart. But I have to say, there are a lot of podcasts like this. We've already spoken about Behind the Bastards, Martinis and Murder, Morbid, a true crime podcast. And I'm starting to ask myself, is there a place for banter with this subject matter? Or, whether it should be a bit more like Dark Histories, which is just one bloke with this creepy voice talking. I think there probably is space to make it more lighthearted and bantery. But at the moment, it's all a bit samey. And I think if you're going to do it, you've got to do it really well. And for me, this one just slightly misses the mark. In the next episode, I explain to you how watching horror movies makes me terrified to get up and pee in the night as we talk about Last Podcast on the Left. We've put all you need to know about the show on our website, www.goodpodguide.com. So go and check that out. You can also follow us at Good Pod Guide on Instagram and Twitter.